Menepta and Movin edged their way through the boulders along the hillside of the Meisner Way that ran straight as a laser shot between two large prisons at either end, 400 miles apart. The dumbbell design allowed concentrations of prison support services and the local economy to grow along the Meisner Way. We have only a half a mile further to reach the black stone prison cube, as you can see, Stephen Miami, as an M should be found in the second stone. We must not tarry. Ugarit has a planetary terminator line separating twilight from the light of the other moons in the 140-degree direct heat of the star. While they neared the black cube, a tremendous convection, sheer wave of extreme winds rose, dust and clouds roiling like standing waves in the horizon, reluctantly giving up pummeling the present ground to move forward and devastate anew. Dark thunder heads driving intense wind shear and a ball lightning wall followed with 70-centimeter hail. What do we do now that we're here, Stella? Find a place to have lunch? The stone prison cube had no breaks on its surface and gleamed as a shimmering obsidian might, with a special lattice of doped crystals concealing the glow of terminal luciferin within. We should extract Stephen Miami from pattern storage of the prison cube crystal niches. There are no guards. Tourism on Ugarit probably lands people inside if they haven't arrived through Altiverse. The defense perimeter is at the troposphere, Stella said, pointing to thinner space. Stella touched the cold stone, humming M and thinking, Stephen Miami, to bounce the pattern faster than a Josephson junction crossing electron before them. Menepta Stella, Miami said, my deliverer. Say that of no one except of the one who is 3, she replied. We have need of you to tell us of Matop and his works. We must exodus now. Ugarit's terminator line arrived with a fury while Miami, Stella, and Satrap were recalled to the tholoi of Alpha Marie through a transcending, encompassing run of space-time. At the Alpha Marie tholoi, the 3 descended to the Prasual line and were beset by an odd purple haze twilight upon the horizon of Alpha Marie at the shore of the Sea of Regulus. The haze was especially strange for Miami, just released as he was from inert confinement in stone prison cube. This must be the work of Igor, bent servant of Rijo Matop. When I refused to surrender my workers for conversion here, after bribery and torture had failed to gain my compliance for the will of Matop, I was downloaded into the prison cube of Ugarit. Igor appeared, emerging as a transcendent pattern in the Sea of Regulus before them, a luminescent green scum floating upon the waters with a variegated sheen like a hydrocarbon slick, supported ideas, images, patterns, and shapes that twirled like an infinite depth of 4-dimensional images upon a 3-dimensional surface. The mind of Igor had a tonal quality that was dwarfed and muted with an explosive desire to control. It was subtle and nuanced, persuasive and arrogant. His voice broke as the sound of 10,000 harmonized trash can lids dropping into place. This world is now the property of Matop Yoinovois. It is my personal responsibility. You will immediately surrender all sentient Woikas with material bodies to Chief of Adaptation Inbar, the restuffing plants yonder, within 2 days. All qualified will be uploaded to the quantum probability ship within 2 days. Shirkas will be tortured and tormented without a semblance of pleasure. Menepta Stella thought to move in Satrap and Stephen Miami. Intelligent destiny is a cross-neuragi sparsely populated in communities that permit continuity of naturally evolving ecosystems. Matop, Universe, and Igor are separate from reality within Universe 1, so far as possible without death, existing within it as shadows outside its natural physical parameters. Their works on Alpha Marie must be the surface of a retrograde megalomania lusting for the universe.
Now, as
Moving thought to Stella, how will we defend Menepta? She replied, we must wait to understand more, know where the enemy is.
DNA, the twisted dialectic of space-time progression.
Igor upsurged his being in the Sea of Regulus, violated an integral element of the civilization. Igor annexed it with field enclosure to the quantum probability ship's compressed M-matrix. The ship is the transcendent body of
time and space, as well as an axis of structure actualized.
An antimatter explosive device from the construction site, Movin said, you mean that the Sea of Regulus is now possessed by and one with the quantum probability ship? Why are Joe, Matop, and Igor? Probably Movin. Stephen Miami thought to Movin, be careful with that little package, it might go off. Those antimatter demolitions should be handled only by experts. Sure, I know, Stephen, yet a shock wavefront to compact material in pure string balls that were then put to a space-time dimensional accelerator and swatted over a time-dimensional wall with force field impact could be worse. Someone like Joe just might try it, you know. The megalomaniac's will to reconfigure the universe isn't too much different than reconfiguring minds with particle beam thought shapers. I don't prefer to be stuffed and uploaded to the quantum probability ship 2 days hence. It's been a nice life to know you, Stella. Stephen, it's been a brief acquaintance. It will be my pleasure to see you both again on the other side. Moving Satrap sprinted suddenly to leap off the 40-foot cliff downward into the occupied Sea of Regulus, detonating the antimatter device, plunging through the surface that was the mind of Igor and the way to the quantum probability ship. The implosion of a shaped quantum field construction ordnance confined the force to the active matrix of the quantum probability ship. Several million miles away, the ship improbably exploded, briefly blossoming into a new nova in the starry sky clearing from the purple haze. The Sea of Regulus rested placidly calm, liberated from Igor.